The older I get, the more I realize how many guys struggle when talking to the opposite sex. It's something that I realized maybe a few years ago. I remember being in college and a young man telling me that, he had his V card and he struggled with approaching women. The other day, I was driving Uber and I drove Uber for a few weeks while I was looking for a new job. And a young man told me, hey man, I struggle with talking to young ladies. I just get so nervous what to do. I don't know how to get their attention. And I'm 30 years old, okay? So 15 years ago, I was 15 years old, okay? So you can say I got about, give or take, at minimum 10 years experience dealing with the opposite sex on an adult level, a young adult level. I've lived with a woman. I've dated, I would say, 3 women on a serious level, and I've had many encounters where it's just casual, okay? What I would say is the reason why I think a lot of young men struggle is, one, confidence. A lot of young guys don't have confidence. And I think that this society teaches young men not to have confidence. When men and women first start off in life, as you all may know, I first got this game from Tariq Nasheed back in the day, but it still applies today. When men and women first start off, men are devalued. Men start off 18 years old, broke, don't have much money, getting some education. Women start off 18 years old, fresh in the game. Her peak years are there and in front of her. From 18 years old to maybe about 30 years old, she's at the top of her game. Older guys are trying to get at her. Guys that's 10 years older than you are trying to get at her. Guys that are more established. Guys that's been through trials and tribulations. They may have a car. They might even have a business, a house, responsibility. And you are the young guy that's, 25 to 18. You're not there yet. You may have a car that your parents gave you. You may have some cheap apartment that you probably struggle to pay rent. So it's going to be more difficult for you. You're going to have a tougher time in attracting the opposite sex, because at that young age you don't really have anything that women that look for stability want. And it's not a bad thing. And it's not to say that women are gold diggers or they only want guys that have money. A lot of guys trick themselves into thinking that personality and other attributes don't matter when it does. But one of the things that I can say is that when a guy is starting off, he's not at his prime yet. That's what I'm trying to say. He's not at his peak. And in the Western world, and I've traveled to 4 countries, Jamaica, St. Lucia, Colombia, Cuba, and 1 territory of Puerto Rico. And I've been to all of the states on the mainland except north of New York. So I've been to at least about 45 states thus far. And I've dated in Louisiana, my home state, Texas, New York a little bit, Cali, Chicago, Illinois. So, and I guess you could throw Miami in there too. So when I'm speaking on this, I've got a bit of a reference point, okay? Now, why I say a lot of guys struggle is because they lack confidence. That's a really big one. Guys overthink things. So many guys. Man, if I walk up to her and I say hello, she's going to reject me. She's going to think I'm a weirdo. It's less about what you say and more about how you say it. Okay? Now, I wouldn't advise any guys. This is just general. I'm speaking in general. I'm not advising guys to go out there and do something silly. I'm not advising guys to go try to flirt with the cute girl on their job. I would advise you don't even talk to a girl on your job and try to flirt with her. If it's your job, you need your job. I don't want anybody going to human resource on you because you said something that could be taken the wrong way. What I'm just saying is that it get better with time. The next thing I would like to say is that as men get older, the value between him and women changes. As men get older, if they do the right things, keep their body right, eat right, work on their, update their software, get new jobs, make more money, get established, focus on yourself for a while, you're going to realize that you're going to have more options. And when this occurs, this usually is when women in your age group either starts giving you more play, you get access to women that you didn't currently have access to, and a lot of it is location based. A lot of guys just have to get their weight up, and that goes a long way with your confidence. I mean, if you're not where you want to be financially, it's going to be hard to do certain things. Now, that's not to say you can't be broke on broke dating or broke trying to holler at girls, but it's like, where are your priorities at, man? Now, when you get older, I would say between the ages of about your late 20s, about 27 for guys, something clicks in our brains. About 25, 26, 27, in that range. It doesn't have to be exactly 27. I'm just speaking in general. Something clicks in the guy's brain, and he realizes that, okay, I'm getting play from women that I didn't get play for. My job and my career is going better. I'm making more money, you know. And if you play your cards right, you will start to be able to travel more and get more exposure, more experience. Continue your education, and not just like in the classroom. Education is worldwide. Education is what you do, the people that you meet, the things that you see, your environment. A lot of guys today, they struggle with talking to the opposite sex because they're just not interested. If you spend all of your time on the computer or in your house, and you know you don't have any hobbies or things of that nature, you need to build yourself up to where you find out what you like. That's the point I'm making. A lot of young guys, they don't, in this generation, they need to develop themselves to learn what they like, learn what you like, learn what turns you on, so you know what qualities you're looking for in the opposite sex. And then when you get to that situation, it's just like a job interview. You know, if she's qualified, then you could put your bid in, and if you're qualified, you could put your bid in. You know, and then you'll have what's called a resume. It's that simple. You just got to build yourself up and realize that you're not going to get them all. You're not going to get, it's so many. Let's look at it like a workplace. There are so many work opportunities. You can't possibly work every job there is, but you can be in what's called the industry. You can find a niche for yourself and you can do your thing. And I say about 30 years, when you turn about 30 years of age, you should have enough experience and a reference point to say, okay, this is what I like, this is what I don't like. A reference point to say, this is what I'm looking for, and if it's not on this list, then I don't want it. And I would also state that traveling makes a huge impact. I mean, if you can't get a girl in your hometown, maybe your hometown is whack. You could leave, reinvent yourself, get new experiences. I mean, I've dated women that were from different states, and I noticed the difference, you know. I've dated women from that was like 2 hours or 3 hours from where I was from and noticed a difference. I've dated women from other nations, guys, and I noticed a difference. But I've also noticed similarities that all women share, right? So I would say that once you get your weight up, you will have more options. That's really the key. In order for guys to get options, they have to improve themselves. That's the main point. A lot of guys 18 to 25, their options won't be that great because they're not at a place in life. They're still kind of like, in the little boy stage where it's like, you're dating girls from high school, or you're dating girls that, you've known your whole life and stuff like that. University and college is good because that's the first time where you're thrown into a melting pot of women that you didn't go to school with or you didn't know previously, right? That's where a lot of guys first start having decent experiences. But it's a level above that. The next level is as an adult, right? But I would say that it's tricky out here too, because a lot of women haven't been really taught how to choose also. That's another thing. So it gets better with time, you guys. I can say that, it's still getting better for me. I mean, I could say right now, the options that I have available to me now, I didn't have those same options when I was 18, 12 years ago, when I was, I'm 30. I didn't have those same options, the things that I know now, I didn't know then. I remember, and I've pulled attractive women back then, very attractive women that are still fine today. But at the same time, it's not all about looks. It's also about what are you looking for, right? And that's the thing too. It comes with experience. You got to get experience, guys. So a lot of guys struggle with confidence. The key to building your confidence is work on what you're weak at, build up your strengths, work on your weaknesses, improve the things that you struggle with, keep and practice good hygiene. I mean, we can't stress this enough. Simple things, keep you a hustle, a job, learn a skill and a trade that'll go forward for you. College is also a good option, but I will also say stack a skill or a trade on top of that, because, a lot of people go to college these days, and I'm not anti-college, but, as a man, you might want to learn you a skill. You might want to learn you a trade, something that you can physically do that can help you. And school is also beneficial for you because you still want to be able to operate your higher faculties, right? So that's been the message. It's more that I could dive in on this topic. It's a very diverse topic. I've listened and studied and experienced many different perspectives, but it really comes down to having intelligence, moving in an intelligent way, being creative, and ultimately being yourself. It makes no sense, guys, to try to be someone else in order to get someone to like you. Find you a niche audience that like you for you, where you don't have to be someone that you're not. I know a lot of guys that lost themselves, made terrible mistakes behind trying to fit into what a woman liked. A lot of guys think that they have to be this tough guy, have to walk around like some thug in order to get a female to like them. You don't have to do that, you guys. A lot of guys think that they have to, talk hood. Listen, I'm from Louisiana. I'm from one of the most hood states there is. For real. On another level, like, it gets real where I'm from. And a lot of guys think that, and I hear this all the time, oh yeah, she like Ray Ray and Pookie. Listen, guys, that's an excuse. You have to build yourself up. You know what I'm saying? Build yourself up. Become the best version of yourself, and you will get better options. And then you'll be able to choose. And when it's all said and done, a lot of it, you realize that it's women that could be out of your league, but really no one is out of anyone's league. It's all about are people compatible? So just something to think about. I would love to hear what you think. Share, comment, drop, some game in the comments. Peace.